Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Go With Your Gut podcast. I am your host, Lauren Dreyer, and today we are talking about hustle and bustle because right now, currently, we are in the middle of December here, and I'm in the United States. So we're in the middle of December Christmas season, and we're almost there, but it is the season of the hustle and the bustle because, well, we probably have everything else still going on. Life is still happening, but it is the added events of all of the holiday events and plans and all of the extra things we need to make, things we need to do, places we need to be. And that's a lot for some people. And I was thinking earlier today, as I've been on social media a little bit and LinkedIn, still social media, but a little bit different, I think. But either way, all the comments I see they're great. And it's all, you know, Christmas pictures. And I love this time of year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And I am, I absolutely love the reason for the season. And I love being with my friends and family, but I I wouldn't be truthful if I didn't say that this season really spikes the anxiety in me because along with everything else that we have going on, I'm not a huge Christmas decor person, Christmas movie person. I like going to some of the different like holiday traditional things that we go to. But I mean, other than that, my husband actually calls me Scrooge and I have a sparkly green t-shirt because I I'm just I don't mind it, but it's not exactly what I am drawn to. So if it were up to me, the Christmas decor and everything would be up for maybe about a week. But that's besides the point. So I just wrote a article, actually just came out. I wrote it a while ago for a local publication called Simply KC, and it was about getting what to do in order to calm yourself when the hustle and bustle gets a little bit overwhelming. And I thought that was a perfect article for me to write because I'm that's kind of me and I can understand all of those things. And you might be thinking, okay, Lauren, you're being like ungrateful because there's a lot of people who would give anything and everything to have all of those things going. And that is not untrue. However, there are also people who do not like this time of year because maybe it brings back horrible traumatic memories for them, or maybe it brings back um, maybe people went through a divorce or had an illness or had somebody pass away around Christmas time. Maybe it brings up the pain of the fact that maybe they don't have a lot of family or they don't have those things to necessarily go to, or maybe it's a reason of their own. But either way, I wanted to kind of shift the perspective a little bit and make this season into a way to have forward momentum for people who um, don't necessarily love the hustle and bustle in the season of Christmas. So this season is also a season of reflection. Now, I saw something the other day and I thought it was kind of great because I do not like winter. I do not like cold. And they were talking about how the cold season, like nobody, I like to be warm. I don't want to go outside, but that was the point of this season was to stay in, to hibernate, to reflect on our life and everything going on so that when that hibernation period is over, we can get that forward momentum going again. Now, there is absolutely times and places that we need to be still. But if you don't like seeing all the things going on right now, I would encourage you to a um stay off social media a little bit, because that's a lot of what's going to be flooding everything for a little bit. But I would encourage you to take out a piece of paper, not electronic devices, because well, as you've heard me talk about a lot, writing it down physically helps you to process. And when you can write down the things, it helps your mind a lot say, okay, here's what I have going, here's what I'm trying to figure out. So take a little bit of time for yourself and think about what you have going right now in your life and where you want to be in a year. Now, of course, you could look at this as maybe a 5-year thing, but I'm talking about a year right now. So think about where you want to be a year from now. And instead of doing a New Year's resolution, I want you to think about where you want to be next year, and then figure out all the different things that you need to do to make that happen. Some people would call this, yes, goal casting. Some people don't like the word and they think goals are used too much, but I'm going to go at it from an angle of, what do you have on your plate right now? Because a lot of people, we're in the season where like it's almost a competition of how busy you can be. And sometimes that's not a good thing. We all have probably a lot going on, whether it's just with ourselves, with everybody else, all year long. We have lots going on. So look at what you have going, look on your plate, look at what your priorities are, and think about if any of those don't make sense any longer to be on that priority list. Maybe you're part of a community group or a church group, or something with the kids' school or a committee, maybe something with work that is taking up some of the time that you don't need to be giving up for it anymore. What do you have on your plate that you need to give up? Now, some things are rather easy because it's like, okay, get that off my plate. I don't like doing that anyway. Well, some of them you might say, well, I like all of this stuff. And yeah, that's a hard decision. And some things we're going to have to let go that we like, even though we like them, because they just don't make sense for us to be there anymore. And maybe that's a comfort zone thing. Maybe that's something that says, I know the people here, they're supportive and they're great friends, but you just have that gut feeling that it's just time for me to move on. There's these other things and groups and whatever it is that maybe you just kind of want to do a little bit more. It's okay to move on and to take some of those groups off of your commitment list, because I'm guessing that commitment list is longer than it needs to be. So look at what you have on your plate right now and ask yourself, are these things going to help you get to where you want to be next year? And then whatever next year looks like as far as where you want to be, start to break that down a little bit and say, what couple of big things, maybe 2 or 3, do you need to accomplish in order to potentially make that happen? That end thing is likely going to change at least one, if not a few more times, because life happens, life changes, and probably this end goal is, it's going to be a little bit of a windy path, and that's okay. But come up with a few big milestones that you need to accomplish in order to get to that main goal. Now, what small things that you can put on your calendar do you need to do to accomplish those other few things, those other big things in order to meet those big milestones? I find that when we go the route of the New Year's resolution, it's such a big change from what we currently are doing, our current habits, what we have going in our day, and we already have a bigger schedule. So fitting all of those things gets overwhelming, and all of a sudden we're like, nope, not worth it, not doing it, done, we'll try again next year. And instead, break that down a little bit. It doesn't need to take more than maybe 20 minutes. It doesn't take that long. If you sit down and actually are diligent about doing that, it doesn't take that long, because chances are you know what you want to do and you know where you want to go. You just kind of need to bring it full circle and paint the picture. Now, the kicker on this is blocking time off on your calendar to actually get these things done. Set time in the open spaces that you have and say, this is the time I'm going to work on this. This is the time I'm going to work on it. Because if you're anything like me and you say, okay, this is what I want to do today, or this is what I want to get done, then that's fine and great. You have a goal, but you get 3 months down the road and it's all of a sudden like, oh, life happened. I didn't get to do that. And that goal should kind of make your stomach hurt a little bit, make you stretch, and it should make you nervous to the point that it's going to make you grow. So if you get to that first milestone and you are decently far from getting there yet, you might say, okay, this all of a sudden seems a little bit too overwhelming. I don't know how I'm going to make it all that way. But if you put the time on your schedule and say, I can do these little things to get to that first point easily, then maybe as you're looking at your schedule, thinking, what do I have going? You say, oh yeah, I need to get this done. And then that triggers your mind to say, I need to put this on my schedule. Here's the couple things I need to do. Here's the things I need to work on. And it breaks it off into those bite-sized chunks, and it lets you have the small win. So that is a great way to take your mind off of all the hustle and bustle that's going on right now and help you to have that forward momentum and get where you want to in the new year. And that way you're not just, sitting wondering what you should do. Instead, you're, yes, dream casting, goal casting a little bit, but actually finding a way to make those dreams and goals have an execution date and bring them to fruition, instead of once again coming to the end of the year and saying, well, that's what I wanted to do. It didn't happen. Better luck next time, because I know a lot of people who tell me that that's what happens. So look at that list of everything that you have going on and listen to that gut instinct. What things does it say, this was fun, but I probably don't need to be doing this anymore. Be real with yourself about what you need to be a part of and what you don't, what you probably need to move forward to now. But go with that gut and listen to what it's telling you regarding what you need to be a part of and what you need to join in order to make those things come to life, in order to move you forward into the next year, so that you can be forward moving, get that momentum, and get that pep back, instead of being in that season where your mind is honestly running in places that it probably doesn't need to run in. I hope some of these tips have helped you. And as always, go with that gut and then keep going.